Hello, this is Aisha with selfcarebyAisha.com. And I wanted to come and talk to you all a little bit about sleeping better. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Aisha, and I have been on a journey to take much better care of myself. And this all started when I was under severe burnout and exhaustion. And I worked with doctors, but after I came out of the time when I needed doctor's care, I had to figure out how I was going to accelerate the gains of my medical care and continue this as a lifelong journey. So, one of the issues I had was around sleeping. I was so anxious with everything that was going on in my life that I would either have a hard time falling asleep or I would wake up in the middle of the night with my mind stirring. And it got to the point where I couldn't sleep at all. I would go days without sleeping and I had to get medicated to help me sleep. But I knew that was not the long-term solution. And I know now that the long-term solution is daily self-care. So today's topic was inspired by a couple of people who are currently in my 31-day self-care masterclass, and I can tell you more about that if you would like. And I wanted to provide some bonus strategies to them because sleep is not a topic in that particular course, and so I thought I would share it with everyone. So what I found to be the main issue with lack of sleep or having a hard time sleeping or waking up in the middle of the night has to do with what's on your mind, and that there is too many things holding your headspace, too many things in your head that there's not enough room, and so it's just spilling out, and your mind needs to process it because it wants to get it out of your head. But you can accelerate that process by doing specific strategies to calm your mind and get things out of your head. So I'm going to give 4 strategies that are from least intense to most intense. And the first strategy is just doing a simple brain dump. This is where you grab a piece of paper and a pen and you write down everything that you're thinking about. So whatever is ruminating in there, just write it down, write the topic down. So if you're thinking about what you didn't get done today, write all the things you didn't get done today. If you're thinking about what you need to get done tomorrow, write those things down. If there's somebody who offended you, some heartache, anything that's on your mind, just write the topics all down and then try to go to sleep. And I recommend that because you're literally just getting things out of your head and onto the paper, and you sort of are tricking your brain into not worrying about them, because part of the worrying and the rumination is because you think you might forget something, right? So if that is part of the reason why you can't sleep, is you're not going to forget it if it's now on the piece of paper. You don't have to remember it, right? There's not as many things to remember. The second strategy is journaling, and that's where you take one of these topics and you try to write about it so that you can actually deal with it, right? Because when you are just lying in the bed or whatever, you're not actually dealing with it. You're just thinking about it. And I always say that planning does not happen in the bed. Planning happens on paper, right? So if there is a particular thing you're worried about for the next day that's going to happen, get up, write about it, plan it out, vision the best possible outcome. If there's something going on with a relationship, you're in a fight with someone, you're angry at someone, write about how you want it to go when you go to talk to that person, right? That is how journaling can help you, is to pre-plan and about something that may be on your mind, and that can also give you some solace and help you sleep. The next strategy is called Yoga Nidra. And yoga, when you think about it, when it first comes to mind, we think all about the movement and being flexible and twisting ourselves up into these crazy poses. But Yoga Nidra is almost like the exact opposite of that. For anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, you're laying on your back with your eyes closed and you're trying not to move. and there is someone guiding you. So if you go to a course, there will be an instructor guiding you, or you can find Yoga Nidra audios on iTunes and YouTube where it is a guided meditation where you are going through every piece of your body and relaxing it piece by piece. So you start with like your big toe on the left side and you relax all of that, and they guide you through that. And I have found that this actually really helps me to have a better night's sleep. That's what they tell you. You're going to have the best sleep of your life if you do Yoga Nidra. And I'm a natural skeptic. So I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I was willing to try. What's like a $5 class to try something that didn't seem too far off? And it was amazing. I have slept so much better the nights that I have gone to a Yoga Nidra class. And then at home, if the first two strategies don't work, then I'll try a Yoga Nidra as my third strategy. And essentially what I have learned is that with Yoga Nidra, you're supposed to stay awake and aware as you're relaxing every part of your body. And sometimes even when I can't sleep, I have found to Yoga Nidra and body scans to allow me to just stay relaxed and actually let my body rest, because that's the thing that you want to get is the rest. So even if I can't sleep, I can at least get the rest. But these days I'm sleeping like a champ. So those days are over where I just need to help my body rest. And so I believe that the Yoga Nidra works because we go to bed with all the tension, everything on our minds, and then we think by sleeping, we're getting into a relaxed state. But I think, and I don't have any science on this, I think we're actually just pausing the tension. And then we wake up and we're still tense. We have not let it go. And so what Yoga Nidra is, you're spending 15 to 45 minutes letting it go, like every single thing. And so you're just super relaxed. And then when you go to sleep, you're like extending the relaxation instead of extending the tension. And I just find that to be so powerful. The next strategy is the most intense strategy because it is I'm going to be talking about bullet journaling. And that is a new task and organizational management system that you would have to adopt throughout your entire life. And I discovered bullet journaling during a time when I sort of like regressed because I had been sleeping very, very well. And then all of a sudden I was back to only 4 hours a night. And, some friends were talking about this system and I decided, well, again, let me just try it out because all it requires is a journal, like any type of notebook, a pen, and your time. And so what it is that it is planning on paper and it's planning in a certain way. And so for a person like me who's very much into apps and digital things, I was trying to manage my task that way, but it wasn't working, right? And so this system worked. So I kept with it because that's at the end of the day, you want systems that work for you. And so it has you plan out your month and your day, and then it has a place where you can make sure you're keeping track of the future. And I've just found that this system works so well for me. So you need to go to bulletjournal.com and look at the video. And there it'll explain the system step by step. But I think the reason why it worked for me was before I just had things on random pieces of paper. I had them in apps. And when when the app's not like just running on my phone all the time, like right in front of me, it didn't work for me. I'm not one to like a lot of notifications because that causes me anxiety. So the fact that I had this notebook that I just had open on my desk to the page that I was working on, and it made me commit to sitting down every day, figuring out what my goals were, what my tasks were for the day, looking back to the day before to see what I needed to carry over that I didn't finish the day before. So should I carry it over to the next day? Should I move it to the next month? Should I delegate it? I really had to get involved with my list because I wanted to see everything have a solution. So whether it was done or the solution was to move it to the next day, give it to somebody else, or decide that it wasn't that important, it just really got me involved with completing tasks and not just like having this ever running to-do list. So I have a blog on selfcarebyAisha.com, and it's called How Bullet Journaling Got Me 8 Hours of Sleep. Because remember, I was only doing 4 at that point, and because I was not anxious about what I had to do, when it was going to get done, like all of it was in the notebook, I just started sleeping better. And I track not just that kind of thing, I track other ideas in there. And literally, if I forget my notebook somewhere, I literally don't know what I'm supposed to be doing because I'm literally letting everything go into that notebook, and I'm not trying to remember what I need to do this day. I'm not trying to remember what's on my grocery list. I'm not trying to remember that book somebody recommended. It's just all in the notebook, and I literally have let it go. I don't hold so many things in my head, and it's just amazing how much that relaxes me. So let's just recap the 4 strategies that are going to help you sleep better. 1 is a brain dump, 2 is journaling, 3 is yoga nidra, and 4 is adopting the bullet journal system. So I give lots of strategies and reminders on how you can take better care of yourself. But if you are looking for an opportunity to just get started, send me a message and we can talk about my 31-day self-care masterclass that can help you experience all types of self-care strategies and to learn that self-care is more than a manicure.